And we're back.
Oh, buddy.
We're
Whoa,
back.
Nelly.
We just took a little bit of a break, but we're back. We're here to
Hold on,
talk
I gotta
about.
I gotta switch headphones.
Yep.
Gotta go to the cans.
Oh, those look cool.
Yeah.
What are you playing? Fortnite over there with those things?
Yeah, these are my Fortnite headphones. They actually are pretty cool. I mean, when
They
it
do
comes
look
to
pretty good.
inflation, they're second to none. But the price is it's I don't even understand the price. Like I don't even understand. I'm a huge Apple fan. So like if they're gonna make a high end pair of headphones, I'm going to buy them.
Right.
Do you know what the price point is on these?
Wasn't it $600?
Yeah, 550, I think.
Okay.
Ridiculous. Anyway,
It's a lot.
we're back.
We're back, and someone's got some news to share with the world.
All right. What's the news?
No, you.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm
Let's.
employed.
Hey,
Hey. Yeah,
congrats.
first week. Thanks, man.
What is
It's
it?
like it's like I never left.
Yeah, back to the grind, huh?
Ah, it's funny, like it felt for a little period of time, like I don't know, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Like I was really excited to start working again. Like I was really excited to get back into it. And then Thursday I woke up and I was exhausted again.
Yeah,
And I
right.
thought like
You're
it
like,
didn't take long.
this is no different. This still
No, it's just
sucks.
I was rested. That was the difference is that I was rested.
Yeah.
I had a 2 month break. Although I really didn't. I more had like a 2 week break because of how stressful. Dude, I don't think I even told you, but this job. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you much clearer.
I just turned on the. I forgot to turn this on, and I just did. And you're saying it's more clear now.
There was background noise that there isn't. There was background noise that there now isn't. Like there, it sounded like we were on a plane before, and now it sounds like
You know
we're.
what? I've got a dehumidifier, but it's running in the other room. I don't know. I don't know if that's it
Yeah,
or not. Anyway,
maybe that's an impressive microphone if it's picking
we
up a
can,
dehumidifier in the other room.
well, yeah. I mean, we can jump back into that arc here as well, where we talk about the microphones for 15 minutes each episode, if you want.
So I was deciding between. I came down to two jobs, right? And I was deciding between these two. One of them offered more money and more freedom. The other one offered the potential to make much more, but in a much more intense office environment. You know, one was I was the only person in the United States basically doing the job and it was working from home. The other was going into an office 3 days a week. So very, very different decisions. And initially I chose the freedom and the more money. Well, you know, you could hardly blame me for that. And
Yeah, right.
I
What am I
informed
missing?
I informed the other company about that, and then I had a long conversation with the VP of sales at the company I turned down, and for reasons I'm not going to go into, but very good reasons, he convinced me to take another look, and I did. So then I flipped and I went to the in office job, and but here's the thing: while they had shown me the offer, there was still one more piece of the interview remaining, right? So I didn't have two offers. Even they do it kind of weird. You know, the other one I had an offer, I could sign it and I could start. But they were saying like, here's what we're going to offer you after this final piece of the interview. Like negotiated the money, everything like that. So this all happened like the day before the last part of that interview. And so I had changed my mind. I made the decision, and then I tried to prepare for the last stage of this interview, which was kind of like a interactive role play. Like I had to pick 10 accounts, why I picked them, select one of them, go deep on it, and then do like a role play of how I would interact, right? And I was I fucked it up so badly. Like I showed up, I had so much swirling through my head. Like I had just gone from, all right, I'm going to work for this company. And like, I told my family, I told Allison, and then switching it and trying to get ready. And I showed up and it was like, I forgot, not only did I forget how to sell, like I forgot how to speak. It was catastrophic.
Okay.
I mean, like Allison was listening in the other room and she was like, it wasn't that bad, but it was bad. Like it was really, really bad. And so, this is like 7 or 8 interviews into the process.
Yeah.
And this had never happened at the company before for one of these interviews, but the CRO was there. The VP of sales was there. 2 managers were there, like the worst possible audience to see that. So now I'm like, shit, I turned down this other job and now I'm not even going to get this offer. Right. And the feeling of frustration I had was like so big and palpable. Like I think I took like a week off of my life just from that moment. Right. Anyway, they ended up having mercy on me because like at this point they had checked like 3 references. I'd met with them in person multiple times, and they realized that I was, far more capable than that, and they gave me another shot. So
you just had a bad day.
Great.
It was off.
It was a bad day.
So you had to redo that interview.
Yeah. Okay. Not the full thing, but like one part of it, just to show them that I wasn't, like I would never have hired the person who showed up for that interview.
Yeah. Right.
Not in a million years. But now I had to like do damage control because it was a bad showing for the first time I met a lot of people, important people that I'm going to be working with. So like, then I started thinking like, should I even take this job? Should I even come in when I have this stain on my resume already? But everyone has been really cool about it. Yeah, I know, man. Like what a mind fuck though, right? Like I tied myself into a pretzel. But I think I made the right decision. I really do. It's like people are traveling again like crazy. So I'm working for Trip Actions. Well, now it's called Navan. This company is a CEO that's eccentric, right?
Most of them are. We've talked about that. Most of them are, but if you're saying that he is already and you started 4 days ago.
First email I got in my inbox was so Trip Actions recently rebranded as Navan.
Better name, by the way. Trip Actions is fucking terrible.
That's interesting you say that because that's not the consensus among the people that I've spoken to.
Amongst legacy Trip Actions employees.
Yes, amongst legacy Trip Actions employees. And so this guy, the first email I get in my inbox is a new employee is from the CEO saying, even though we've just invested the last 2 months into rebranding as Navan, we're going back to Trip Actions. It was a hasty decision. We did it without enough market research, and this sent people scurrying. Followed by the second email I got in my inbox, which was
April Fool's Day.
Yeah. But this guy didn't just send it to the company. He changed the logo on Twitter, changed the logo on LinkedIn, like really went deep into this.
I respect that.
Customers didn't love it. But yeah,
I don't. They'll get over it. It's a April fucking Fool's joke. It's a good one. He went through it. Like he changed the logo on Twitter. He did. I like that actually. That's funny. So
that everyone was bitching about it last night at dinner, and I was like, how do you not want to work for that kind of guy? Like, how do you not want to work for the guy that's willing to say, like, you don't like this? Well, I'm going to publish this as a fuck you because I don't give a shit. It's my company.
I like that.
I thought it was cool. Yeah.
He doesn't take it too seriously.
He probably should have taken it a little more seriously, but I do agree with you that, like, I mean, I saw some of the customer responses and they were not good. Like some of our biggest customers responded. Our biggest customer responded with 3 words: childish and immature. So I think it was
fuck out of here.
It's how business is done. When a company is maturing from a startup to an enterprise that wants to go public, could you imagine if Bausch and Lomb pulled that shit? Or
fucking Twitter just did, man. He changed the logo to right. It's Twitter. That's right. It is Twitter. I don't know. Bausch and Lomb and Trip Actions. Don't tell me Eli Lilly and Trip.
I'm saying if we want to become a public company though, which is very much the aspiration. We've already filed for IPO. So this is like, you got to start acting like a public company. Yeah. We'll see.
Well, okay.
We'll see about that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you'll recover from the April Fool's debauchery of 2023 and you'll be able to file that IPO and sell those, all the people who own those shares can sell them on the secondary market. Yeah. Hopefully that happens.
Yeah. That would be nice. Anyway, congratulations. That's my work story. Thanks, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And you got back in the game. You know, you were given some advice of like, take some time, do this, you got to pay out. But now you're back in the game and you're earning money again.
I'm earning double money for the next 3 months.
No shit.
4 months. Yeah. I'm getting double paid.
Yeah. Right. That's great, man. That's like, that's an extra bonus.
Yeah. I mean, you gave me the best advice of anybody. You told me, don't listen to that. You don't have a job. Go get one. And then I set the goal of getting an offer on March 15th. And I got my first offer on March 15th. Like a month and a half after I got laid off, which was a good feeling.
That's a long time.
It's not a long time. Like, I think it's a blink of an eye. Yeah, no, it definitely felt like a long time to be unemployed, but it also felt like it's when you're at the mercy of someone else's timing and priorities, like time can go by without any meaning. Like it's just very hard to be productive. It's very hard to push things forward when you're one person and these are big companies that, don't give a shit what you think.
I've been lucky to not have, been in that boat, but I can imagine.
You been working continuously?
Yes. My point here though is it's got to be tough. It's probably a really good exercise in living in a world where you do not have control over much, right?
Yeah.
You can look for jobs, but you're not really in control of timing. Like you said, you're not in control of whether you even get an interview or not.
Right.
And like having that just constantly in your face, that's probably a good like life sort of experience just in recognizing that.
I think that's why I felt so humbled and ready to get back to work and appreciative, right? Because it is a grueling experience to try to, and I really went for it. Like I went for the companies that I like, the best companies in the world right now that I want to work for. And some of them said no, and it sucked, right? Because when I had a job, I just kept thinking, like, I've never had a problem getting a job before, and I've never had to go grovel and ask. I've always had opportunities come to me, but this was different. This was very humbling. And like, you're right. It is very mentally healthy. Like I formed a lot of very mentally healthy habits during this time to like keep myself anchored. And you were a big part of that. You helped a lot.
I know. I'm great at that. I play a big role in pretty much everybody's life at all times. Sometimes I don't even recognize it, but I
don't think you do.
I am at least partially responsible for everyone around me's success.
Yeah,
at least partially.
You have equity in everyone's success.
Yeah, that's just the kind of guy I am. I try to help.
When was the last time you weren't working? Like either
last time I was
you took a new job.
Yeah, I had one day, one business day. Here's why. Well, I don't know if I should go into I'm not going to go into the reason why I only took one day, but I quit a job on a Thursday and I started my next job on Monday. So one day.
Okay, well that's not too uncommon.
That was 2012.
Wow.
That was it.
So you've gone to work every day. That's incredible.
you take it in vacations and stuff like that. But I've been getting a paycheck every day except for one. I can't remember how I left Enterprise. I think I started like the next day.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a job where, dude, I didn't make enough money to not work.
Yeah.
There was no building. I went back and I was thinking about this. I'll never forget it. My first job was with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, which I later found out was because I went to grad school and we were doing a case study on hiring. And literally the first class when I was getting my MBA, it was Enterprise saying, we hire from the back end of graduating classes. we don't even try to hire people with GPAs above 3.0. We don't even try. We just want people who need jobs and have a personality. And I was
like want to work.
That makes sense. Yeah, right. It can demonstrate in a single interview that they have some sort of wherewithal. Yeah. And like reliability, like they show up to the interview on time. Right. It's like a good transition to like you'll show up to your job. I made $34,000 a year.
What a stretch. That's actually not bad.
That was based on a 52.5 work hour week. So
that's a lot.
It was like $12 an hour. It was $12 an hour. And I had to work on Christmas Day at the airport. Anyway, it was I remember
I love your Enterprise stories.
Yeah, I'm starting to forget them now.
It's probably a good thing.
Yeah, it was a hard job. Every job I've had since then has been easier.
It's a good way to start. But like that wasn't bad money for that time. I think my first job with FedEx was like 45.
That's a big difference, man. That's like 15% more. I think it wasn't that bad because you were working all the time. I think the regular day, if you worked 5 days a week, it was like 8 to 6. And then you had to work a Saturday, every other Saturday.
Yeah.
It was like, it took me, I remember when I had that job and I worked on Christmas Day and it was miserable. We ran out of cars and there's a lobby full of people screaming at me and I'm 22 and I'm like, you just don't start crying. Don't start crying. If you start crying, you have to leave. I really wanted to cry. And
I don't blame you. That's stressful.
I will never forget that. And I remember thinking,
so hold on. Okay. You're in a lobby. There's no cars to give these people. How many people are there?
6 or 7.
All
6 or 7 reservations.
Yeah.
And some of them are like with kids.
And
this is Christmas Day. This is like
you have no solution for this, correct?
It's like 4 or 5 p.m. on Christmas Day. No
so
solution.
These people just want to see their families. Yeah.
Yeah, they want to go and celebrate Christmas.
Yeah.
And they're trying to be nice, right? No one's like, fuck you, man. This is before smartphones. Thank God, man. I can't imagine being filmed during all this. Like, this asshole didn't, we had a reservation. These are people with reservations, right? They didn't just show up. They got off an airplane into a new city and they're trying to rent a car. And I remember thinking, don't cry. And then after that, I thought, I got to get a job where I don't have to work on Christmas. And so I got a job that was my only bar. And then I got a job working at a bank where I still had to work weekends. And after that, I was like, I got to get a job where I don't have to work on weekends. And then I like that was my only criteria.
Climb the corporate ladder.
2 years, 2.5 years or so. Yeah.
Was just, I don't want to work on Christmas or weekends.
That was it. And you, I think we take for granted, and I'm not shitting on anyone else's work ethic or upbringing or anything like that, but we grew up in a situation where everybody's parents worked and they worked hard, and we grew up in Pittsburgh is definitely more Midwest than Northeast, and
100%.
A Midwest work ethic is a thing. And I think that has rubbed off on us, so that like we want to go to work, and that's a big part of our lives. But we understand, like, the older we get, it's like, I want to work because I want to I want money to buy the shit I want to buy, and like
right.
afford me the opportunity to travel and go on vacations and stuff like that. But to do that, you got to work. And so I think there's, I'm sure you've been complimented on your work ethic at some point. I know I have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's
what keeps me in the game.
A lot of that's what it comes from.
Yeah. I mean, I'm at a place now where like this company hires like very eccentric salespeople that just want to make money. Right. And I thought to myself, if I'm going to kill myself working, why not do it where they're going to pay me through the nose if I do it well? Right. I don't have managerial responsibilities. I don't need to do anything but sell. And if I'm as good as I think I am, then this should be easy. And if not, then I need to be here because I need to brush up and I need to learn and I need to get better. Right.
Sure.
And I think that, like I wouldn't have thought of it that way if it wasn't for that type of work ethic, like right. You don't do that unless you want to grind, but it comes at a price.
Of course, man. It'd be a lot easier for all of us to go work at, I don't know, pick a fucking place.
Yeah, I don't even know what that would be like. Like what would be a lifestyle? As a matter of fact, I think I know because I think it's the job I turned down. It was for a Swedish family-owned company. No one was going to push me.
IKEA.
It was for IKEA. They were going to pay me very well in Swedish meatballs, in Billy bookcases, and Fjörgenberg.
Those are
accessory
nice.
Lamps. Yeah, you gotta have a Fjörgenberg. But I didn't want to do that. I mean, I did, but I didn't. Like I did want to do that, but I knew where it would lead to more mediocrity. Right. So
I guess. I mean, you tell me, but
yeah, it would have. I mean, you get a job like that, you do well, and it opens the doors for other jobs like that. If you go to a company that's backed by Andreessen Horowitz and is a fast-growing startup with plans to IPO, you go to companies that are backed by other big VCs that are trying to IPO. Right? I think there's definitely exceptions, but for the most part, you kind of stay on a track.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and I'm already on that path, so I jump off.
I didn't realize that sales was kind of linear like that, or siloed, I guess is a better way to describe it.
Yeah, like there's guys who will, someone told me at a wedding one time, we were talking about burnout, and he said the scariest thing about burnout is that you won't know what's happened until you're a customer success manager for 3 years at Microsoft, which sounds like a good job, right? And it is, but like that's the lifestyle lane. Just big company, job that's not challenging you, and that's it. And then there's a few other lanes where, you go if you are branded as like a hustler or someone who can make things happen. I'm sure it's the same in your industry.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't hit that crossroads yet. But that's a great wedding conversation. I'm sure you two were the best guests there. Sitting at a round table with 10 people. Most of you don't know.
This was cigar talk.
Hey, I'm burnt out. You burn out? Me too. You won't know it until you're a 3-year customer service relationship manager. Yeah.
You assholes don't think you're burned out? I bet you are. Bet you're burned out right now. You don't even know it.
You ever take a look at your life?
Yeah. Don't.
Burn out, motherfuckers. Yeah. Awesome. Best table.
Burnouts. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. Dave Nadell. Yeah.
Shout out to Dave for the wedding of the century.
Shout out to Dave. It was a good wedding. It's funny because that stuck with me. That was like 5 years ago, and that stuck with me.
It's good advice, I guess.
Yeah.
Everyone gets burnt out though, man. There are very few. I won't say no one because I don't know, but I know that there's a lot of people who just don't want to work and do the job that they have. But again, it's like, okay, what are you going to do instead? And then 2, you are doing the job because you have a lifestyle that you enjoy. Hopefully, if you don't do that, if you have a job that you hate and your lifestyle sucks, I don't know what you're doing. Like, fix one of those two things. You can have one or the other easily.
Right.
But don't, maybe you can't automatically have an amazing lifestyle if you want to live in Miami, which we'll get into in a second. But,
Miami.
Yeah, I think that you got to at least enjoy either your job or the life you have because of the money you earn at that job.
Yeah.
That's a zero-sum game for me.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a very good point. Which made the pandemic and like my experience at Miro, where I was like in my seat for 12 hours a day, pretty rough because there was no lifestyle to live. Right?
Yeah. Those have to end at some point. Like, you gotta switch it up. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Well, it definitely was now.
I know that it was, because everyone I know at Miro has reached out to me this week and asked if this company's hiring because it's getting bad and worse and they want to leave, which is not what I wanted to hear because I liked working there. You know, like, it's not that I wished the company valued me more. It's that I wish the company was doing better so that we could all still work together, because I really like the people.
Yeah.
But
what? In the meantime, you got out.
Be together much longer. Yeah.
And you got 3 months, 4 months double pay. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's great. Right. So a lot of people are going to get out and they're going to do so voluntarily, and they're not going to get any money for doing it, and they're still going to have to go find another job. So yeah, I guess there was some benefit to it.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
You know what I'm loving?
What are you loving?
This computer they gave me. Look at this thing.
What'd you get? What is that?
It's a MacBook Air, a new MacBook Air. Wow. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like got a square shape to it.
Hold it, flip it up. That's a rectangle.
No. The edges.
Oh.
Here, I think I've got another MacBook around here somewhere. Let me show you the difference. This was my Miro MacBook. Notice the rounded edges. Thicker. Now this guy, by comparison, squared.
What?
It's
what are you talking? Which one is the? I don't even know which one which one is which anymore. You hold them up next. That's the new one. What's that?
This is funny because of what I'm about to say about it.
Hold on. Let's get you up here on the big screen.
Can you tell the difference? No, that's a rectangle. Okay, now you can tell. Right? Look at the shapes. One is curved and one is marked flat.
Dude, they're fucking both curved. What are you talking about?
No. This is.
I've got a laptop. You want to see a squared off laptop? I'll show you a squared. I'll give you a squared off laptop.
You see how that's yeah? Show me a squared off laptop. This is curved.
I gotta unplug it.
Curved. It makes a big difference.
This is mine. That's a squared off laptop.
Yeah. So is this.
Look at these. Look at these sharp edges.
Oh, right. So yeah, you've got the sharp edges. That's true.
Like, I don't know.
It's still square. Still square. Yeah, yours is more square.
Yeah. So what? I'm sorry. What's so great about that?
Okay,
yeah,
I don't know
why you care.
I will tell you why I care. I hate working on laptop computers. Hate it. Like, I've never been able to be a person that could sit down for a day's work at a laptop and be able to do what I want to do without going crazy. Right?
Okay.
For some reason, this laptop, I love it. Like, I don't even want to work on my big desktop computer because I love the feeling of the keys, the mouse. It's got a bigger screen. I don't know if you can see that. It's got a bigger screen. It's got this little notch there. I think the bigger screen helps because you can fit more on it. There's like a very pleasant sound to the keys. Listen to this mouse click.
What does your other one sound like?
Okay, hold on. I'll show you. Well, a big difference too is because that one's flatter, which I know it doesn't look like it. It's like it hurts your wrists to keep on this like really sharp edge. I don't know why. I don't know why they would design it that way, but that one doesn't have it. Okay, so no one likes that. Not me. Now listen to this mouse click.
What's the click? Yeah.
You hear anything?
No.
Because there isn't anything. Piece of shit.
Yeah.
The little things. I mean, I'm dead serious. I've had, so this isn't bragging because I haven't paid for any of these things, but I have, just in my view, I have 4 MacBooks from companies that they just say keep them now. Like, I guess they don't give a shit. So they, but I can't use them because I have to take them to the Apple store and get them re-imaged and the corporate shit removed or send them back to the, like, I'm not going to do that. I don't need a computer that badly that I'm going to jump through hoops. So I have this pile of MacBooks, but the point being, I've been given a brand new computer at each of these companies I work for, and I've never touched them. I never use them. This one, I can't stop touching it. I'm so excited about it.
You found
I don't
your
even
shape.
know how to describe it. Yeah, I guess I did. I found my shape.
Found your shape.
And it's got this nice like finger ID button right here that I can just log in with. Boop. There you go.
Yeah.
You want to hear the mouse click again?
Sure. Is that what it sounds like? Get a laptop with that noise.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
I had a Lenovo that I got again in like 2010, and it had the finger thing.
Oh, light went on.
Yeah.
Someone's up in your house. Hey, Sarah. Yeah, Lenovo. You mean the fingerprint mouse? Remember those?
No, the reader to log in.
Dude, my dad was the biggest fan of that mouse nub that was in the keyboard.
The nipple.
Remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Is that what it was called? The nipple? Yeah,
so.
My dad loved the nipple. He loved it. Because at that point, trackpads were pretty atrocious, right? So you kind of needed the nipple.
Like the ball.
This was...
Or no, you're talking about the screw, like the little... That was before... So my Lenovo had that.
It was early laptops, but it stuck around for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't mind it. I could never get used to it. But the way it was laid out was you would use... I'm trying to think because I had it on that laptop. So the screen, it had the screen and then like the little touch screen, and then there were buttons below it. But then there were buttons above it, and you use those with your thumbs with the red dot. So like you didn't use like this, but use your thumbs as the clicks, like left and right click. Or yeah, that's how it worked. It was good. I liked it.
That's cool.
But I could never get really used to it.
Yeah. Wasn't the original one though intended for you to take your hand, put your index finger, and navigate with that thing?
You do that. That's what you do. But then you use your thumb to click. Right? So you're moving around this way and you can click this way.
Are you clicking the same place you would with the trackpad?
The idea was that you didn't have to move your hands from keyboard to mouse.
I see. So you're staying in the home row.
You're staying in home row. It was right between the G and the H.
Yeah.
And so you use, instead of like right below the space bar were the buttons.
Right. I got you. So you're keeping the same home row.
Interesting design. Tough to get used to.
Dude, I love shit like that. I could talk about like industrial design, like especially like, is that what it's called when design is geared towards efficiency? And the reason I love Apple so much is because they've blended beauty and efficiency so well together. Industrial design and like commercial design, I guess. I don't know if those are the real terms, but it's cool. Like I love that shit. And I would have loved to have been in the room when those guys were trying to figure out where to put that stupid little red nipple. Right. And try like, cause there's a ton of thought that goes into it. And the thought, I just get tickled thinking about how someone's there sitting in a room thinking about my comfort and my workflow. Like they're just agonizing over it. They go, we gotta get it right. And I feel like that's for me personally. So I like that.
It's it's interesting.
Don't tell me it isn't.
No, it is. I'm the same way. I think it's cool. Does this ThinkPad have it?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I got one on this. This is the laptop I got on it. And this also has the thing. Here, I'll show you.
Unless it's hooked up and then, yeah. Is this your work laptop?
Yeah, it is.
Did they give this to you?
Go ahead and cover that.
Yeah, cover that up.
Yeah, you got the nit.
So you put your thumbs here, right?
So do you need to use those top click pads?
Top click.
You never use those. Yeah. The buttons above the trackpad. Below the space bar.
Those are the mouse buttons.
So you do use those.
Yes.
And I see the fingerprint sensor to the right of the trackpad.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, Macs make everything look prettier, but they don't.
Oh, I know. I've seen some really cool. Yeah, I've seen some really cool PCs lately. In fact, I've seen some PCs that I thought were better than the Mac design until I saw this one, which is, by the way, the MacBook Air M2. So Apple's making their own silicon now, which is pretty much blowing away the specs of any other computer. And this is the second version of it on the MacBook Air. And it has 24 gigs of RAM, which is a lot for a work-issued computer. So, I'm a big fan of this computer. In case you can't tell.
You could play SimCity on that thing, I bet.
Could play SimCity 2000 without any lag.
No lag in SimCity 2000. So,
what do I see there to the right of your elbow?
This is my birthday present.
Yeah.
I go up here and I play I practice hot cross buns. Behind it is all I'm running out of space, man. I need more. I think I need to buy another desk.
Yeah,
this is a 72-inch desk, and I need to move. I don't have enough space for it. I need to move something to the back of the room, like back here.
What about an L desk?
You know what? I don't love that. And then the only way I could move, I don't want to replace this one. I love this desk. I think it's
great.
You
do. Yeah.
And
it's big too. Like the fact that you're running out of space is saying something.
These things I can still work everything. And it's pretty messy over behind like where the camera is. But so I got space there, but there's just a lot of wires and stuff. And if I want to dude, these things are like a drug.
Yeah.
I just want more synths. And so I'm going to get them because again, that's why I go to work. That's why I work.
I want more synths, so I'm going to get them.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's really daunting as I look at that is the wiring that you have. Like it's starting to get pretty complex.
It's not as complex as it looks. Everything just needs to be hooked up, and most of them are hooked up the same way.
Yeah.
But it can be a lot when you get into like modular synths. I don't understand that, and I don't think I want to learn that because that shit is like it's just that's a whole nother. That's like I can't be married and still do this because
that's like what Daft Punk spends their time doing.
Maybe. I don't know if they use that or not, but like let me show you a picture of what I'm talking about.
I saw a picture of one of their studios and it was like an entire wall of synthesizers.
Yeah,
I would imagine they're doing pretty much everything.
I'm sure they are, right? They have it all and they're using it.
But what is modular? What does that mean?
I'm going to show you. So a regular synth is like this is a modular synth.
Okay.
Right. Where you are these are called patch cables.
Okay.
And they, I guess, go from certain things to another without getting too deep. Like, and I know very little, but like there's oscillators that then get put into effects, and you can patch those things and move them around.
Oh, dude, it's like a circuit board.
Sound. Right. I don't want to. That's like another.
Dude, look at that. Look at that red connector.
Yeah.
I love that.
I have no idea.
Oh, this is cool.
For. It's cool, but like,
this is really cool.
How do you make that work? Like, you get it without any of the chords, and they're like, go ahead.
Dude, if you were going to play music on this thing, you would look like an old 1950s switchboard operator. Operator? Who you calling?
Benjamin Jones, please. Benjamin Jones, please. Yes, right away.
Benjamin Jones in accounting or Benjamin Jones in finance?
Yeah, one of those guys.
Oh,
so I don't want those. I got this one. This one is like, this is a.
Is that called Dreadbox?
That's the name of the.
That's cool.
That's the name. Oh, nice. Thanks.
Oh, dude, I hate when they do that. Come on, Google Images.
So there's like, you just plug it in, right? And it makes noise, and then you switch things. You just turn knobs.
I'm into that.
So I don't want this.
Knowing that exists, are you really going to take the easy way out? That's not you.
Yeah, I am.
I don't know.
What's the other thing? Like, I have no room to put it anywhere. Number one.
I hear you.
There's a level of.
But on the other hand,
so there's a level of, like there is with any hobby, where you're like, yeah, but if you buy this expensive thing that's really hard to use, it's better. And it's like, okay, shut the fuck up, dude. I'm just trying to fucking have fun. I'm just trying to make some music. I don't need to like post pictures of it on Reddit, right? Just stop.
Okay, so that's what that is what you're telling me.
I think
Reddit.
There's something to that. That's definitely harder to use, right? Like, I mean, it just looks more complicated. It can't be less complicated than what I've got. And then like, yeah, but you don't have the customization. And like, what the fuck? For what? I'm not playing a set at Coachella. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Just give me some presets. Let me twist some knobs.
Speaking of presets and twisting knobs, I have a topic to discuss with you. Head shavers. Are you familiar? Let's talk gear. Because I recently have started going all the way down.
I noticed that in your Miami picture.
Yeah. And I like it.
You do.
I like going all the way. Here's the challenge.
Looks good. No, I haven't. I have not done it. I don't have a great scalp. I know that sounds weird. I don't. My skin up there is not good. It's bumpy.
Okay. Bumpy skin.
Yeah, it doesn't. I can imagine, like when I'm using, I use wall clippers, like nothing fancy.
Nothing fancy about a wall. That's their slogan. Ain't nothing fancy about a wall.
Yep. Buy one every couple years. We'll be here making the same $29.99 clipper.
I like that. Buy one every couple years. We'll be here.
Yeah, we'll be. You looking for a new one? You don't have to take care of it. It'll just get dull and start cutting your head up. Just buy
the nearest CVS and pick up another.
Right, the CVS brand.
Yeah.
So, but tell me about so which one do you use? The one that looks like a little car? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. But I
use that one.
Just didn't think about it that way, like a little car,
like a little toy car. It's real manly. Shaving your head with a Tonka truck.
Wait, hold on.
Matchbox car.
Can you show me what you think looks like a car?
I think it's called a head blade.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it does look like a car. No, that's not the one I'm using. I'm not using a straight razor. I'm trying to do electric. But wait till you see which one I got.
Look at this fucking thing. Bring yours up. Go ahead.
All right, hold on. I mean, I got two. I got and they haven't arrived yet. because I had to go to the barber to get it done, right? He kind of showed me. But I mean, this thing is pretty intense looking. All right, hold on.
Oh, wow. Norelco.
The Pitbull. The Pitbull Gold. Look at this thing. You hold it in your hand.
Can you make that picture bigger?
Yeah, probably.
I'm seeing the entire page.
Yeah. Can you see it now?
No.
Oh, I'm on the wrong tab. Hold on. Sorry.
Just share the different tab.
Yeah, Rich. Yeah.
There you
all
go.
That.
Ooh.
All that. Yeah.
So does that hurt?
I don't know. I haven't used it yet.
Oh, you haven't? He's using shaving cream.
Yeah, you can do it wet or dry. I mean, I don't. This guy's doing it in the middle of Times Square. Yeah, it's where my new office is, actually, right there. This guy's just doing it while looking in the complete opposite direction. He didn't give a fuck.
Guy just looks like he's exasperated by something.
Yeah, he's kind of numb.
Kidding.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm just gonna sit here and shave my head with my necklace on.
Dude, it's just one thing after another.
I'm just gonna leave my shirt on while I do it.
This is the best. I'm going to do it right before I go to dinner at Bubba Gump Shrimp Company.
Yeah, this guy's definitely going to Bubba Gump Shrimp Company or the Times Square Red Lobster. One of the two.
Yeah. M&M World.
Yeah. Look at this.
That looks cool. So you haven't used it yet. So what did they use that on you when you went to the barbershop?
They didn't. I'll show you what the other one. Babyliss Pro. This is the other one I bought. This is the one my barber used.
You bought 2 of them.
Yeah, I'm going to try them each. Can you see this?
No. You're off the tab. There you go.
Look at that sucker.
So
it kind of looks like a car too.
Well, do you know which one I'm talking about? The head blade?
Yeah, I do. Okay. So it's in the world wheels. I gotta look this thing up. I know what you're talking, but it's like an actual razor.
Yes. Yeah. There you go.
What the fuck is this? Why is this? It does look like it looks like a jet ski and a dildo.
That's not what they look like now. Go back. That's a different one. There's one with like actual 2 wheels on the front.
Yeah.
It looks like a snowmobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones.
That's
ATX.
Yeah, this is very childish. I don't understand why they would do this.
So I knew a guy who used one. He had a good looking shaved head.
Yeah.
So but he's like, you just kind of do
I'm not gonna. Whoa.
What is that? Is that a backwasher?
It's a back laser.
Yikes.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm glad I don't have that problem.
You don't have back hair?
No, not. I mean, I've got a couple, but not like that. Very little.
I have two wings. I've got wings, but Allison bought me laser treatment for like the top of my back and shoulders. So it's been lasered. It's been blasted off, dude. I'll tell you what. I don't give a shit what any woman says. That hurt badly. Like if I'm looking at this guy, not like here. So I have like 2 patches, like one right here and one right here. But this stuff up here, like by the neck, the top of the shoulders, oh man, that fucking hurt. Like it hurt. With the laser, it felt like someone was taking the world's strongest rubber band and just fucking snapping you in the back of the neck over and over and over again in the same spot. It was I hated it. So, and you have to go in multiple times. So, and Allison like got it done, you know, in places that women get things done, and like was fine. So she said, if I was fine with that, you'll be fine with this. So I went in all brave. The first time I was like, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to seem soft. After the second time, like I made excuses. I think I even moved the appointment once because I was thinking about it. I walked out the second time and I was like, I'm not going back. I'm not doing that again. I don't care. I'm just going to have back hair. Like it's too much. It's too much. I can't do it again. I can't do it.
I'm just going to have back hair.
Yeah. And then I went back a third time.
So did it work?
Yeah, it works. It definitely works. It's just really painful. It's really painful, and it's annoying to go with someone who's like, it's not painful because she didn't have it done in the same place. Like, this is a very sensitive area. Like your spine, dude, trust me. You would be screaming in pain.
Oh,
dude, you go get your back lasered. You'll be screaming in pain. You will be.
I'm sure it's not comfortable, but don't tell me that she didn't have it done in a place that was
different.
I can't imagine it being different.
Yes, you can. So
I can't imagine it being different and better. Let's put it that way.
Reach behind you and touch the part of your neck where the spine is starting to come out, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
my spine's coming out.
Yeah, like you can even feel just from touching it, like you can feel your head will start to tingle if you rub it, right? Do that on the inside of your thigh.
It's the price of beauty, Josh. I'm sorry you're such a pussy.
It's okay. I just was born this way. I was born this way, and I've done little to change it ever since that moment.
I'm just gonna live with my ultra sensitivity to pain.
Yeah,
that's it. That's that's part of who I am.
You know what? I'm not. Everyone gives me shit about this, but like, I'm not even gonna get into it. I will accept. I will. This is my cross to bear. This is my cross.
I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I'm just like the guy who's looking off into the distance while shaving his head.
By the way,
I don't care.
You sent me a picture. You were in Miami. Did you go down there to like celebrate the new gig, or?
Yeah, we went down there for a week between little R&R. It started off as 4 nights, ended up as 6. Yeah, like we added nights while we were down there.
I was gonna say, all right, so that I've never done that. That's impressive. So you changed flights.
Can I tell you something? I don't know that I've ever not done that. To the point where like. That's kind of my thing. Like we talk about it ahead of time, how many days we're comfortable going, because Allison knows I will pull the same shit. And then like, if there's no reason to be home, I'll always be like, one more night, and get the rally cry going. But in this case, we kind of knew before we went down that we'd be staying longer. We just like booked through points and like different sets of points because we tried to do it for free. But it was great, man. Like I'd never been down there before. Actually, I had once, but I'd never like really done it right, away from all the riffraff as an older man. And it was great.
So well, that's my, I've never gone on vacation to Miami, but everything I understand about Miami, I hate.
So here's,
I hate it's,
you're right.
It's all it's all show.
It's all show. It's very flashy, very sceney, right? So the reason we went to Miami is for 2 main reasons. One, I don't know the last time you looked up hotel prices in the Caribbean, but they are out of control. Yeah. Now that I'm working for a travel company and I've been spending my week immersed in training, there's a real reason for it. There's travel inflation year over year has been 30%, which I just learned, which is pretty big.
Wow.
And it's spring break, right? It was the heart of spring break. So we were competing against that. But we looked at the Bahamas, we looked at Turks and Caicos, we looked at Aruba, we looked at Jamaica, we looked at go down the list. Number one, it's kind of, we were doing a last minute trip, and you don't want to like go to those big locations on a last minute trip. You know what I mean? And it just doesn't feel right. But also we couldn't afford to if we wanted to, because every hotel room was over $1,000 a night. In fact, most of the ones that we would normally stay in were like $1,500 a night, which is like $1,000 a night more than I'm prepared to spend or have ever spent. So that was the first factor. The second factor is the great Sargassum seaweed blob of 2022 and 2023.
What?
Are you familiar?
No.
So these beaches are being tourism in places like, have you been to Tulum, Mexico, Riviera Maya, or Cozumel?
Never been to Mexico. Believe it or not.
In Mexico? Okay. So that whole east coast of Mexico is, their tourism business is going to be ruined. It's already ruined because the beaches in Tulum and Riviera Maya are infected by seaweed. There was a big seaweed bloom and it has washed up on the shores. It is brown. It turns that beautiful crystal clear blue water to a yellowish brown color, and it smells like rotten eggs.
Seaweed blob, the sargassum seaweed. Is that right?
Yeah.
Let's get a visual here. Oh.
Yeah. Dude, it's bad. Yikes. So we went to Tulum back in 20. We used to go to, I think I've been to Tulum 3 or 4 times, but I went with Allison twice. And it was going to become a yearly thing for us. But the last time we were there, the seaweed was so bad that like it ruined the trip. It ruins the view, it ruins the smell, it ruins everything, right? That's actually not even half as bad as it actually is, because imagine all of that piled up on the sandy beach. So there's no sand for you to sit on the beach. The water is putrid and it smells. So they hire these guys in Mexico to rake it every single day. They've also found ways to put nets and balloons to kind of float it, which ruins the view. I mean, it's better than having it on the shore. But anyway, so you got to kind of, there's websites that will monitor which beaches are okay and which beaches aren't. But there's a period between right now and like June of this year where if you want to go to some beach in the Caribbean, go now, because it's about to get way worse. There's another blob coming and it's going to be even worse. So Miami didn't have seaweed. Miami was the only place that we could find an affordable hotel.
There you go.
But you're right. It's very scenic. The highlight of the trip, though, was Carbone, which is a restaurant that's located in Miami, Vegas, and New York. I've been to the one in Vegas. It's like we couldn't dream about getting a reservation in New York. We would have to know someone, or
we couldn't dream
like we couldn't
get
a
reservation in New York.
Yeah, we wouldn't dare dream. So we went there and we had a very big, expensive meal, and it was nice. And the food there is, I mean, that's the best restaurant I've ever been to, and I don't even know what's second.
Nice.
Like
that's good.
It's incredible. You would love it. You're a restaurant guy.
I'm sure. Big expensive meals, not an everyday occurrence, but definitely, especially when I've had one that I was really unimpressed with, but everything else, every time, and big expensive meaning like $250 each out the door.
Yeah. I mean, we were a little more than that because I got an expensive bottle of wine to celebrate, but
$250 and above. It's never more than
I
don't think it's ever been more than $350, but yeah,
we got there.
You did, huh?
It was when I told Shira what we spent, she was like, I did a 6-course tasting menu in Switzerland at a 2 Michelin star restaurant, and it wasn't that much. we got so much food.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing, right? So when you go to those, they really will they'll be like, oh no, was it like a tasting menu?
No, but I tried to do a tasting menu for Allison because I had been there to the one in Vegas and I wouldn't shut up about how much I loved it. And so like I wanted her, and I had gone with a big group of like 10 guys. And I did get to try everything. And so I was trying to recreate that for her, not knowing like how economically irresponsible that was and how much, like we couldn't even get through it. It was too much food.
Yeah.
But they definitely did not I was like, is this going to be enough food? And they were like, maybe. And like we took home full things that we didn't even touch.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
they don't fuck around. I've been to a place where I was still hungry and it was bullshit, man. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm never coming back here. But that's the definitely the exception. We've gone to a couple other where we sit at the chef's counter or something like that. And
that's cool. I've never done that.
That's fun. You sit, and just watching people make food is fun. We do that for like special occasion shit. And it's always been good. It's a good date night, but it's not cheap.
Yeah. And so you actually sit there and you watch them make the food?
Yeah, you basically like sit at a bar.
Is it in the kitchen?
there's someone. So that I'm trying to think. A couple times, like you have a view into the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right. You're sitting at the bar, and on the other side is the kitchen.
Right.
And so you can kind of see what people. And it's funny because these chefs, they only do one thing, maybe two things, but they do that all night. Yeah. It's like this guy is preparing this meat, and all he's doing is cooking it and slicing it. That's all he does. And then plating it whenever it comes up time to make some. Or like one guy's making these little pastry things, and he's like putting little mousse, like a foie gras mousse on top of something, right? And then like making those and plating them. He does that
Gotta
for
have
3
your
hours.
foie gras mousse.
Yeah. It's cool though. It's I love sitting at a bar setting, right? Whether it's like an actual bar or like a counter. I'd much rather.
I like eating at a counter. Yeah, it's so much better. Like staring at someone across the way. Like it's such a. I like a corner if I'm gonna do a table, like a booth where you can sit next to each other, like at a corner of the table. But a bar with like, and my ideal setting is when I walk into a restaurant and there's a wait for tables, but there's 2 bar stools with backs, big thick ones that you got to pull back with both hands, and a nice wooden bar. And it looks like there's some nice people on either side. And there's a TV, not too close, but it's still a TV that I can keep my eye on something.
Yeah.
Friendly looking bartender.
TV showing a college basketball game. On this TV,
sports games.
And then maybe like a race. And then there's like some beers on tap. And then everyone's got wings. You're talking about Buffalo Wild Wings. So your ideal is to go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
And a naked lady in the back. A naked lady poster.
Maybe some arcade games nearby. Cruising USA, probably.
D&B. That's a Dave and Buster's. I mean, honestly, tell me. I want you to answer this question honestly. Not the rich you think you need to be, but the rich you are. If I invited you to go to Dave and Buster's tonight, would you be excited?
If you asked me 15 years ago, yeah. But dude, here's my problem with Dave and Buster's, specifically Dave and Buster's.
I love that you have a beef with them.
I cannot get over the mental image of people going to town on loaded tots and wings and fries with cheese on them and sandwiches, and then immediately touching video games. That's so fucking gross. I didn't like put that together until, fairly recently. Certainly after the last time I went to Dave and Buster's. But that's all it is, man, is people just being like, let's shoot some hoops, right? Let's touch everything. Yeah, I mean, and then you're just going back and forth, like touching things.
Literally every arcade, bowling alley, Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah. Okay, so you've got a problem with all food-based arcade establishments.
We have gone bowling, and I'm conscious of not touching anything until I wash my hands.
You know what, though,
even if we order food.
No, that bowling oil mixes with your chicken fingers in a way that
I don't eat.
I like that.
I don't
eat
until we actually go.
Bowling alleys are gross places. They're gross.
They're terrible.
Places.
They're really gross. They really
like
are.
The oil from the balls, the shoes, that spray, whatever God knows is in that spray. It's the same stuff they spray the clippers with at the barber shop. A can of blue Barbasol that's been there since 1962.
It's gross. It's gross. Yeah. But you at least there. Like we've gone. I don't like eating because we have gone bowling. We used to go duck pin bowling before the pandemic. There was like an old school lane. Great. It wasn't like cosmic bowling. It was just you keep your own score on a piece of paper.
We used to do that together. You love keeping your own score.
Dormont Lanes. It's not about keeping your own score. It's not about keeping your own score. It's about there is a line of demarcation between bowling alleys where you keep your own score on a piece of paper and ones where you don't. And there's like no happy medium, man. There's no, what was the name of the bowling alley that we used to go to? Not Dormont Lanes, but the other one.
Bowling City.
Bowling City existed in that medium, right? Where it was still just a bowling alley, but
you're right. That was a good bowling alley. Yeah.
And they played, maybe they had like a little bit of music, but it wasn't like dark.
Dude,
and there were TVs.
Yeah.
They had a bar. Of course they had a bar. It was a bowling alley.
But like it wasn't like a lounge, yeah.
It wasn't like TVs above the pins and fucking it wasn't like $8 a game. That's the other thing. Is it's expensive to go to those like
No, it wasn't Lucky Strike. Right. It wasn't Lucky Strike. It wasn't a technology fest. It wasn't like you're right. It did exist in that medium. I think that it's pretty rare to find any leisure activity. That's actually not true. I was just going to say, like, the separation from technology, I think, is what you're talking about. Like, not having TVs in your face. Have you ever seen those animations on Instagram? Bowling in
it's people make crazy ones. Yeah.
Yeah. The one with the school shooter that says "spared" is my favorite. It's like a guy walks into a bathroom and hands someone a note that says, "Don't come to school tomorrow." And then it says "spared."
Yeah. I know.
Okay.
The dark humor of Instagram. I'm up for
bad.
that. But anyway, I don't know where we're even going with that. But bowling alleys, like I don't want to touch food until I wash my hands.
Now, on the other side of the spectrum, no, I hear you. Those are the grossest places. What are there? Is there any one type of establishment that you always enjoy going to? Like hotel. I've never been to a barbershop I didn't like. All barbershops are great. They're all great. Like all real barbershops, not like a Supercuts or whatever. Yeah, Sport Cuts. Sport Cuts. What a fucking name for a store. What does that even mean? You want a supercut or do you want a sport cut?
There are people I'm sure there are people in fucking Wisconsin who are like, I'm fucking going to Sports Cuts. I got TVs with games on them.
Is that what that is?
I think it is. Let's go to the internet.
That's their whole business model. Like, how did no one? But that's such a shame though, because like the barbershop is. Where did you get your haircuts when we were kids? Growing up,
you know what I used to. I never went to. I would go to whoever my parents went to. Yeah, my dad had a guy. Haircuts is Sport Clips. Haircuts for men and boys.
Okay.
Only. No women allowed. No girls allowed.
Yeah. Men or boys.
This is ridiculous, man. Check this shit out.
You know what? Actually, I think I remember when one of those opened up in Robinson, and I went, and I was like, "This is great. I can watch sports while getting my hair cut."
Sport Clips.
You know what, man? That's the difference between staying in Pittsburgh and leaving Pittsburgh.
It's a good representation. I mean? Yes.
Yeah.
It's a good representation of the difference of that. I agree. So there you go. Sport Clips. Look at those guys having fun watching baseball and baseball.
Dude, look at those field speakers. Up here. Are those speakers? No, those are.
No, I think they're like cabinets.
Okay, they're cabinets.
That's where they keep the clips.
Their clips.
Yeah.
This is it. Look at this.
I mean, this looks terrible.
That's an actual mural. Home of the MVP. Yeah. Generic baseball stadium. How about that?
I love that. I love the
sports talk on the TVs.
Wait, what stadium is that? Looks like a minor league.
Oh, dude. It's good to be a guy.
You know what I bet they have here is that race car head raiser.
Maybe. I don't see one in the shot here, but.
So did you realize with an electric razor you can get a skin smooth feel? Did you know that you could do that?
I never thought about it, but I mean I knew that was always a thing. I always thought it wasn't quite as good.
Right. So that was my perception. I would go to the barbershop. The guy used that gold looking bullet on me and it was smooth as a smooth. The problem is those electric razors, if you go past, like I couldn't shave what I have now. Like I couldn't, once you go past 2 days, you can't shave it anymore with that. You've got to get the clippers out and cut it down.
Every 2 days.
Every 2 days, which is why I opted for something that was like, I could do myself. Right. That
absolutely. I'm not going anywhere every 2 days, man. I need to go to the gym every 2 days.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Every 2 days comes a lot quicker than it seems.
Can't go vacation.
No,
I'm gonna get my hair cut. It's interesting and it looks interesting. I'm curious to see what you
wouldn't get one. Huh? Would you shave your head with a razor, with a blade?
No. I'm telling you, I got bumps, man. I have bad skin on my head.
Like razor bumps?
Yeah, kind of. It's full
you get irritation,
I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was getting a little bit of that too. I did a lot of research on these head razors on which was the one that wouldn't have the most irritation. And from what I could tell, it was all about keeping the razor heads clean, changing the blades, lubricating the blades, that kind of stuff. But I mean, I kind of feel like it's unavoidable.
It cuts me up now. Using the wall, and I don't use an attachment. But
can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
So the way I think I've stayed away from that is because I use clippers with a universal motor. So a stronger motor, the Oster, they're like $100. You should get it. Like if that's going on your head, what happened?
I had an Oster 76, which is like it was branded as the
throwback. It's exactly the one I have. It was branded as the what?
It's corded, which is a problem. Yeah. That's because I do it in the shower, and the way where I do it, I had one. I think I got rid of it. It was, man, I had like the Quad Zero attachment.
Yeah, that's what I use. I have 5 zeros.
Dude, it hurt, man. I was in pain after that. I understand that I think I don't know. I don't think the motor.
Look at these 3 pictures they're showing of it. Well, it does. It does. Like this, the way that the motor moves. I bought this 5 years ago, so I don't remember it exactly. But the way that the motor moves, a universal motor is different, and it's rare to find them. Number one, they last longer, but number two, it creates a cutting motion that's that creates less irritation, like that, because the hair is not being pulled. It's going like this instead of like this. I think. I don't know. I have to go back into the research and do it again. But my whole thing was I didn't want to get irritation because like I get such bad irritation from shaving on my neck, and I just didn't want to go through that again.
Right.
So this has been wonderful. Think about it. Like a more powerful blade. You don't need a cordless. You don't need to do it in the shower either. That's crazy.
Yeah, I do. Dude, I spent the first 10 years of my life doing it not in the shower. And that it was like I still hear from people who came to my apartments in those days about how disgusting my bathroom was because I was just shaving over. Yeah. You got to do it in the shower. I guess I could do it. I mean, you just, I guess, run an extension cord, but I don't want to fucking do that. I've learned to treat it with, I have like I bought for the first time in my life, in my 40 years, bought an actual skin soap for I don't even know, cleanser, I guess. And I use it on my head. And I think it does help.
I thought they called that shampoo. Skin soap.
I haven't used shampoo head soap. No, I'm talking like face stuff. I just use it on my head.
Okay.
Like the salicylic acid.
Yeah. That'll help. Yeah, that'll help. I mean, it's tough. But I really do think like using cheap clippers that are pulling at your hair follicles is not helping.
You're probably right. But is it really pulling? Because it's not like they're not pulling your hair out.
This thing goes like a knife through butter. And that thing doesn't.
I tried it and I was like, man, my head fucking hurts after I used it.
That's so funny. I mean, it hurt because
it was so close. It felt like I had shaved with a razor.
Really? So I do the
5 zeros, and then I do that other electric razor on top of my head. Like Allison does the 5 zeros to me. It doesn't hurt at all. I feel like
maybe I had a bad day.
Sometimes
there you go.
Hurts,
maybe that was my back laser hair removal moment.
See, yeah, there you go. You laugh at me, but here we are. All right, I got to start my day.
All right, dude.
Great being back in the saddle. Thanks, brother.
Yeah, we'll talk soon.